All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Symphogear, Season 3, Episode 13, the season finale.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. What a finale it's going to be, because Elf9 will be alive. She's not going to die.
Yeah, we hope. We hope.
Not going to happen.
We hope. Yeah.
I'm also banking on some hand-holding with Carol. I think that is possible.
It is possible, yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah, it is possible. It's basically just the question of whether it's Elf9 or Carol, because
Right.
both of them cannot exist
Yep.
at the end of this season, I would say.
But forgiveness is the name of the game. So how will that come into play here?
Yeah. Who's going to be doing it, primarily?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's
Hopefully
going to be
all
receiving
parties.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would say that having the hype miracle unveiling of all their special forms might be enough to be the end of the fight.
Maybe.
But
we'll see.
We'll see if Carol has more memories to consume for power.
Right. And Symphogear as a show definitely knows how to escalate things in the one episode before resolving them. So,
yes,
it
absolutely.
could get much crazier.
Yeah, we haven't gone to space yet, so
exactly.
it can always get bigger. So
There's 7 planets out there, apparently. That, with the whole
yeah,
storm thing
we still don't know
that.
what that was referring to exactly. But yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, then come back here for the discussion.
Okay.
Damn.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Hey. Wow, this is a finale that I'm very happy with the way this turned out. A lot of this ended up being something where we got both sides of everything kind of covered. We had harmony, if you will. Elf9 being absorbed into Carol's body so that Carol can then restore herself back and have the reset like we were predicting. Makes sense. But then having it be handled in this way where this is in some ways both of them getting to continue on.
Right. Yeah, we didn't actually hear the name of, it's just I am, oh, there you go. Right.
And it's not important.
Yep, exactly.
Because
it's kind of both of them.
It's both, yeah. That's cool.
And also someone completely new, right? Like because
because
Elf9 like yes, Carol got Elf9, right? But Elf9 also got Carol, even though most of her memories have been wiped away. So now, here we go.
Here we
go.
All
right,
new
awesome.
Person.
Yep. Love it.
Wow.
Okay.
And then also just the cathartic end of, okay, so for the parents of Hibiki, it's not so easy for them to just take each other's hands right now. Some things aren't solved so simply with just your fists. But for one of you with the kindest fists in the world, when they're brought together, they can be used for something beautiful. And they were, because a fist can also be made kind of with
when you're holding hands
is made and is brought inside it. So that was a really, really beautiful thing for Symphogear to do.
Oh yeah,
as a show at the very last second. That's kind of the potential of really what this show can do when it puts all the pieces together into one little package. You can have a really powerful emotional moment like that. So props to the show for making that be the final scene of the season and not the bait stuff about what season 4 is going to be about. Because while that's cool and all, I could not care less, really, compared to the emotional core of this story with Hibiki.
And I'm not 100% convinced that actually was talking about season 4 stuff, or if it's actually just the incident with the magical girls that have been in, the show up until now. I'm pretty sure it's that's what's being intended. But like talking about magical girls and Symphogear, it's like, wait, hold on, that maybe narrow it down a bit more.
right,
but,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
But
here we go.
Okay, this is the finale.
And we still got some ridiculous, crazy, awesome fight, sequences and everything.
Yeah.
There were a few choice moves that felt very
they've gone full meme.
They've gone full meme. The Shirabe and Kirika Rumba Zerg, okay. All right, love it. But then also the Maria Tsubasa boob touch sword drill. Because if you think about it, it's actually very technical. There's good reasoning behind it because in order to combine their powers, they need to be close together.
Their little Dun's life things together. That's what they really want
in order to get them to harmonize. Absolutely. Right. That's what was going on. But also, like, you know, that just be like if they were back to back, how would that work? Like, how would they hold on to each other? It just wouldn't make sense, right?
No,
so naturally, you know, it has to be that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I just can't believe at this point that they're just like, we need to come up with some moves that have really no effect on the fight in general and are just there for memes and fan service.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll do that, yeah. Because in a lot of ways, most of these fights really end up being just kind of stalling for time to then showcase some cool animation, which is like, you know, most fights in anime won't do that because it takes a lot of effort to put in that animation to make that stuff there. And then it's like, but wait, this isn't going to lead to anything in the fight. So why can't we just do other stuff that is less costly? It's like, but that's not what the fans want.
Right. And like, there are so many other types of shows where they will do basically just that. And then it's all about how entertaining can the stalling be, right? It's the medical dramas where it's we're going to dick around for 40 minutes trying to figure out what it is, and then, we figure it out, you know?
Okay, I was speaking specifically with fights. But, okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, but it works with all conflicts, you know? But this was wonderful, super entertaining, although there is that part of me, because I am a proud member of the Chris Tsubasa ship. I feel like that did take some damage, or at least there was another ship in conflict with it potentially.
Yeah, see, once you realize that it's all just based around Hibiki and Miku's, you know, not actual, you know, like stuff.
They are a microcosm for the rest of the show. There will not be any actual relationships in this show because we can't have.
Well, no. Sorry, I'm wrong. Kirika and Shirabe, that's actually real.
Yes.
That's actually real.
Yep. Yeah.
But that's just because they're the sidest of side characters in the main cast. But no, I would be proud if this show had the stones to actually make Miku and Hibiki have actual progression in their relationship.
Yep.
But hey, calling her sunshine, that's
a big deal.
That's something.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically it.
Right.
It's just
you know,
something. Yeah.
Killua can call Gon his sunshine, you know, but you know, right, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
But okay. All right. We have our happy kind of, this is where they are now. We have Chris being the senpai to the two of them.
And that was great.
Studying.
Yeah.
Don't try and make some joke about me not being smart because I happen to be the most attractive of all of us here.
Right,
no,
exactly.
I'm attractive and I'm goddamn brilliant, you know?
Exactly. You think I don't understand every detail of how these guns work? That's science, bitch. That's math and physics. I know all that shit.
Yeah, I got that shit on lock. Yes, but the Tsubasa and Maria.
They're
going to sing together
right
a bit
all night long, potentially
until morning. That's probably the most meaningful progression we've had in a relationship in terms of actual things changing.
What are you talking about? We had Ver this season.
And Ver is actually the reason why the world was saved, because he ended up able to save the three girls, which then were able to then bring their songs together, which were then able to defeat Carol.
And the reason why he wasn't shown in this episode is not because he's dead. No. It's because he understands that a real hero knows when to step out of the spotlight.
A real hero doesn't seek glory. No.
Exactly. No. So he just...
And also he's probably transcended to the energy realm of, you know...
They're just going to find him somewhere sometime, like in Megamind, and it's going to be like Metro Man. He'll just be playing music or something, and he'll be like, oh, hey, girls, yeah, no, I found my passion, right? I was inspired by your music, and now I'm trying to figure out how to play music as well.
Ver is going to be the patron, basically, of the magical girls that'll be coming in Season 4, that will then be giving them basically the inspiration to be heroes.
Yes.
And they'll draw energy from beyond this dimension into the one that Ver now occupies, which will be the tie-in to where Season 5 is going. And that will be the tie-in to why music specifically gains energy and such, will bring about the true understanding of humanity, so that Lululemon can ascend to become, you know, what they were meant to be.
We do still need to go into
fate and transcend the past and all that jazz. Yeah,
right. We do still need to go into space and the other 6 planets or whatever and fight God and everything.
See. But, again, I don't think that's what that's referring to. I think that's more theoretical, because there's more a point of the idea of 777, which has more, again, biblical connotations as well.
But I think we can safely say now that every season there will be hand-holding of the villains at the end. If Symphogear doesn't at this point, right? If...
Well,
but I will genuinely be shocked.
But we didn't handhold there in season 2. So what is this?
But
is this
we handheld Maria. No, not every villain, but in every
Fine in season 1.
No. We had Chris in season 1. It's not every villain. It's that in every season there will be a handholding of the villains. Right? We also didn't get the auto scores.
So a villain.
Yes, at least one.
A villain.
At least one.
Okay. I can accept that.
Yeah.
That is essentially true. What's happened thus far.
Yeah.
But all right. Okay. I mean, in a lot of ways, this was just a wrapping up and a tidying up of the previous episode. So this was kind of a 2-parter finale,
right?
In that respect. But yeah, Magical Girls potentially coming next season. I think that's probably the way more natural of a continuation than Alchemists were.
And it's one of those things where like I'm curious how they'll make it distinct because it's
I have many. Like ideas,
Like
I'm literally talking about patrons. The idea that all magical girls in anime have some kind of familiar, some kind of thing, that ties them to this world or this extra magic, basically, and that involves some kind of deal, some kind of thing that they have involved in that regard.
Actually, that's a great point. But if we also take the philosophy, or the perspective that each season of Symphogear is basically a complicated backstory, origin story for the next member of the Symphogear idol group, basically, right? Then we had a very clever way in this season that the villain started out not with Symphogear, ended up getting Symphogear by the end of it, right?
Sure. Kinda, yeah.
Right, because of that whole thing. Now, that might not happen moving forward. Right. Who knows, because, all of that stuff, right? Yeah. But Magical Girls, how do they then end up getting Symphogear?
Well, that's the thing. They just sing. That's it. Like I would say Magical Girls in general are basically one slight deviation off from idols.
Right. Because
it's practically just magical idol.
Right. Symphogear is basically just bards with armor. So
yes.
And it's awesome.
It's basically magical idol
mecha. Kind of. It's kind of. Yeah, armor, which is better than mech.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Although they did go mech with Shirabe and Kirika this episode. Like when I saw them sitting there and moving the Roomba, the control sticks or whatever, I was like, what are they doing? And then here you go. Yeah.
And then actual Giga Chad Chris with just annihilating everything.
I love how it's one of those things where it's like, okay, Chris might not be the best one-on-one fighter, but if it ever gets to the point where the enemy decides for some goddamn reason to summon a bunch of mooks, no, Chris is just like, cool, I will wipe them all out.
I don't have to hold back anymore. Yeah, kill anything that moves.
And she actually ended up using lasers.
I hope, for the love of God, we move beyond noise if they're going to use noise like they did this season.
Yeah.
It was so painfully dragged out.
Noise, it's different.
Oh, wow.
Even the whole thing with the auto scorers, they were kind of interesting, but the thing is that we didn't actually get into them as characters.
Yep.
So it was kind of just basically some fights to build up for the Carol fight at the end, which was the Carol fight. It's awesome, fantastic, all of that stuff, right?
But I would say that primarily if you broke down this season to its components, if you disassembled it to understand it, yes, exactly, you would see that most of this was a method by which the main characters could not use the powers of what they had gained up until this point, because the writers probably didn't know how to handle them actually all working together.
Because they're really fucking powerful.
They're really fucking powerful at this point. So, yes.
There was a lot of stalling, basically.
Let's go. It's a lot of stalling. Holy shit. So then let's go full Magical Girl, where miracles are the case on all sides here.
Daily basis. Yeah, that's a Tuesday.
Yeah. And then that can be just the thing of where, the fight doesn't even necessarily have to be about who punches stronger.
Right.
Or whose power cancels out whose, but about who's winning hearts the best, or what have you. What nations are going to rally behind, what groups or what have you. And this could go full, world scale conflict.
Since they mentioned, the U.S. is, out of power now or whatever, who knows? Maybe the Magical Girl thing is just their ploy to, a new alternative, way to be like, yes, we have the strongest military force now, Magical Girls. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
We'll
see. But yeah, we have had Hibiki's kind of little bit of arc with her family resolved here. Yeah. It will now start a new chapter for that. I definitely feel like this season was the finale of a chapter of Symphogear, and that makes sense.
Everything after this will probably be very different. Like this felt very much like the strongest tie-in, like hint to a future season that we've gotten in a season up till now, which kind of makes sense because it keeps getting more and more popular. But I'm curious to see how that will change the story structure, because theoretically 4 and 5 could be like 2 seasons that are like part and parcel with each other.
Yeah, I think you and I are right on the same like wavelength with this. I think that this reminds me of a couple other shows structurally where usually you have probably the most awkward season right before the best season or seasons where they basically wrap things up. And Legend of Korra had an example of this. I was thinking that too. Well, season 1 they didn't think they would get more, so it's kind of the awkward one, but it's got a lot of ambition.
Right.
And then season 2 is the worst one, the one where they basically need to kind of wrap up kind of the chapters of what
it's continuing, but we don't know exactly how
need to
far
start the new
go
direction of it. So this season is basically like, okay, cool, that's covered. Let's start the new direction of this. Magical Girls, probably. We'll see.
Yep.
And then the next seasons of Legend Korra and then something like this will be probably the best that we've got thus far, because they'll have a solid, contained direction.
Right. What I would love to see, if this does go full Magical Girl and stuff, just as a personal aesthetic thing that I would appreciate, is spell books. We got Magical Girls. Now, it could be like Magical Girls, like the traditional anime Magical Girls, or it could be Magical Girls, But yeah,
I think that's too close to alchemy.
It might
my
be.
opinion.
Yeah,
I feel like personally,
Carol kind of already got that covered.
Yeah, personally, I would love to go the familiar route. I would love to go for something where we end up having conversations the villains have with each other, basically, of where it's like, we are, tying into something that maybe is an aspect of what the god of this world is.
Sure.
And then that could be something where we go into the fact that these forms that they got here were not miracle forms, but they're more like angel forms because of the wings. And then that's the tie-in to how this is going to go into the divinity level kind of stuff. And
sure. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, personally, I'm just really glad that the finale ended so strong, because I feel like this was probably the one season of Symphogear that I probably struggled the most with, kind of attaching myself to a lot of the conflicts, because I just didn't buy a lot of them.
master-servant dynamic between Carol and the autoscores, I feel like bogged things down a bit with getting attached to the characters, because that was probably one of my favorite aspects of season 2, is that they did feel like a family.
Yeah, and then the Elf 9 potential was put on hold for too long, because the Elf 9 angle was probably something that had the potential to be the best part of the entire season, and yet because of the way it was set up,
and her being separated from Carol, and
we literally had no good build up, in my opinion, to the finale parts of this here, which were, weirdly enough, the strongest part of the Carol storyline, which is basically the Elf 9 Carol relationship. But because we didn't focus on that up until now, it feels like we wasted all this time.
The build-up was more for like the Carol's power and the outfit and the transformation and that than the character stuff as much.
Right. And even then, the build-up for that was also something that was all like, all according to my plan, which it's all just working out. And it's like, okay, cool, great. She didn't explain it really because there's no story reason for it to. But then at the end, she kind of... almost felt like they were like, oh, well, we need to explain it so people kind of get how we got here. Right. So it ended up kind of, Anyway, I really liked that this season ended strong, though.
Yes. Yeah. Ending worked very well for me. And again, having the final note be Hibiki and her family, I think that's great. Yeah. And I like the direction that they're taking the dad, because the way that he was at the end felt like a character that I could actually be seriously invested in, as opposed to like just the, he's a shitty dad, but and we'll sort of like laugh at it, but then also like see, is he going to do it? Oh, hey, good for you,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I really liked how he was handled. Silly random thing before we end this here. don't know if you guys noticed, but the chip thing that Vare sent was essentially a little drive thing with the little bits at the end there and stuff. The vent at the top of the wall of Hibiki's house at the crest there looks exactly like it.
Wait,
see that vent there? Oh. I was just like,
with the corner,
yeah, with the corner being cut off for literally no reason.
Huh.
I just thought that was funny.
No, it's a deep cut, like,
it's a deep cut
reference.
Easter egg. Yeah. Anyhow, I loved the lack of dialogue that was brought in the offering of the hand until the father was also like, I guess you can't take my hand just like that.
Right.
Because he was right. Mm-hmm. And then Hibiki bridged the gap, which in some ways is her basically saying, I forgive this situation, but also, like, it's okay. Let's basically, like, we're going to be fine, you know?
And also, I want to point out that this is having a scene like this work as well as it did, given that we know almost nothing about the mom.
True.
I feel like it was very well handled. Like, her not saying much works, I feel like, because we don't actually know what would make sense for her to say. Well, so it's she's not really ready for this.
We don't know what she would personally say, but it's more accurately, I'd say, how she would say it, because we do know a little bit about her in that she shared with Hibiki dealing with all the bullying. Mm-hmm. And that was something that kind of characterized her a little bit before coming to this point. Yeah. So as long as she basically kind of gets to have Hibiki kind of stand in the middle there for that. Yeah, we don't really need to know what she would say here.
Right.
Yeah.
And hey, if we get to know Hibiki's family more, then maybe that's more of a chance for them to also interact with Miku, because if you want to have a relationship go the full distance in a story, you also need to have the romantic
they know
part.
Miku.
No, I know. They totally know Miku.
They totally know Miku.
But at the same time,
they're childhood friends.
No, absolutely. Right.
This isn't some meet the parents kind of shit.
No, I know. But at the same time, I am all for more slice of life, like mundane type stuff in Symphogear. So, and this is another opportunity for that to come into play.
Yeah, I personally would love, this is a weird take here, but I would love the next season to be one of the most relaxed seasons of them all, and to have it be a thing where it's actually just a part one season of them, what ends up being the series finale in season 5. But that doesn't fit the pattern thus far, so we'll see how they handle it.
We will.
But yeah. Y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the first episode's reaction of Season 4 right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. You can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yes, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.